Richard, we've just had a tour downstairs of exactly how this not just has been developed, but how it's produced, putting it into the moulds. There's a lot of work involved, and it looks a lot simpler now, the injection moulding, but it's quite a process that goes through.
It is, yeah. It can be easily overlooked how complex it is to make something that looks fairly simple. It's not. There's a big team of people behind the evolution of the material, the geometry, the tooling, the cleaning up and the deflashing of the product, as well as the certification stamping, making sure that it's all hitting the right points. So it's not a straightforward process, but hopefully downstairs we all saw a bit of a sort of a screenshot of how we go from a basic material in a test tube across to a product like this that's ready to go into a garment. So glad you enjoyed it.
From there, obviously it goes on to a lot of testing, Paul, quite a rigorous amount of testing in various different ways under the hammers. When it goes for its CE marking and it's testing with the boards, is it as vigorous there?
You'll see exactly the same test apparatus as you've seen here today. They will conduct impact testing in the same way. The products will be conditioned as they are downstairs. T+, T-, if that's the claim of the manufacturer. They'll be mounted on the apparatus there's a variety of different ways. I saw a very interesting one today down in the lab downstairs. And they'll be impacted. The official labs will look for potential weak spots. They are required to do that. So they will also test anything that looks as if it could generate a worse result. And I think what we heard today was that that's already covered here by D3O. The facilities we saw today, that's what you would expect any serious player in any market, and in this market specifically, to be equipped with. So, they're gearing up, they're planning to pass, and that's what they're doing. They're doing all the work up front to ensure that when the official testing goes ahead, there are no elephant traps, no unpleasant surprises. No less than I would expect.
Tom, do you ever ask for anything specific from D3O or any other company you work with?
Not specifically, no, to be honest, but now I've come to the factory and seen how it works, and I could ask for something specific. No, honestly, it's actually very interesting to come here and see how it's made. As a racer, as I said to you earlier, we take things for granted, and you don't see how much work and testing goes into the stuff. So, no, we have. I give feedback to Furigan, that then give the feedback back to D3O. So it works like that. But yeah, like I said, now I know they can do custom things. Maybe we'll be in touch.
Oh, listen, I had quite a few big injuries to my left arm. There's from nerve damage to severed nerves to, I think there's 6 plates, 26 screws in that arm. So D3O kindly made me this for a lot of my off-road activities and skiing and snowboarding. And pretty much I came out, I think it was Adam at the time, a little bit of a design and just for some added protection. But not only do they do obviously various different components for the motorcycle industry, but one-off things as well. Is that something you would get into more, Richard, or is it just purely mass production?
No, I think it's a really important part of the business model to be, no pun intended, but to be flexible with how we offer benefit to people. So not everyone is the same shape, size, and there's injuries that we need to think about. And in your case, no, there's not an off-the-shelf product that would help you in that riding situation with your arm. So that's why we thought we'd put something together that would at least help with that. So moving forward, then yes, if there are riders that with historic injuries or other situations where people need something bespoke for them, then there's no reason why we can't do it. We just need to have a strong business case to make sure that goes through the accounting team and we get it signed off and off we go. So no, that's something that I'm very passionate about is to make sure that we can try and offer anybody something to help them, ride safely or enjoy riding again if they've had an injury.
Last question from me. You work closely with the military, US and the UK, on protective gear. Helmets. What about motorcycle crash helmets?
They are in the works, that's probably the best way of putting it. So we have a early stage low energy management system whereby, as you know, a motorcycle helmets can combine, if we've got the EPS, we've got the polypropylene outer shell, we've got the EPS, and then it's a comfort liner. And that's the comfort liner, all it does is a fit and sweat management. It's not attenuating any impact, it's purely there for keep the helmet in the right place and comfortable. The EPS does all the impact energy, and then the outer shell is for glance and obviously for weatherproofing and windproofing. What we're looking to do is to bring our technology into the liner itself. So not modifying the EPS, but taking the liner that is producing no impact qualities and upgrading that liner. So you have what we call a subconcussive benefit. So you have a small off, you have a small impact where the EPS doesn't get compressed, all that energy gets pushed through to your skull. If you have a big impact, a bit like an airbag in a car, the big impact will be absorbed by the EPS. Anything under that level, nothing. You will have a big headache. So we're looking at developing the right, and this is why it's taking time, the right solution to offer motorcycle industry these helmet liners that can be retrofitted into the current tools and offer energy management system of a lower energy than normal. And looking at most impact energies, a lot are in that barrier of subconcussive. So it's on the way.